Welcome everyone back to Pominos. Hope we're all doing really well. If you are new around here, make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe. We're nearly at 3,000. It was like an unlikely chain of events. At the start of the season, it was trying to get a 2K. We've jumped that and we're so near. So please do that for me. You can go a step member. There is a link to become a member of the channel. We do some wonderful things. Nice little community. Help support if you want to do that. And welcome to all the returning Pominosers. And what we're doing today is you've all asked for it. A few of you have requested doing a power ranking. And I've never done one of these before, so I do keep this sheet of what the top 20 is skill-wise and who I like. So I thought let's just smash straight into it. And starting straight off, probably no surprise, Mr. Will Ashcroft from the Sandy Dragons. Will go pick one, you'd imagine. And I mean, he's got it all, hasn't he? I mean, he's a pure midfielder. Very high level as well. And that's something that you look for with these young kids when you're looking at the ones that come through. We talked about Nick Dacos last year. It was ruthlessly efficient. And his ability to accumulate the ball, the fact that he can back it in and out is very impressive. His ability in close around the stoppage. He's got decent breakaway speed as well. Can play on the outside. And that is going to be a huge factor, I think, in why he will be a superstar of this competition. I would suspect that this might be a Nick Dacos type scenario where they probably play him down back. A lot of people have questioned his defensive prowess. I don't really see it. I think when you look at what he does at Sandy and the guys he's around, he's kind of allowed to do what he does more on the offensive side of the ground. But I think they'll give him a little bit of time. An incredibly well-rounded player and a player that I'm really excited about seeing in the AFL draft. Next guy, and this might surprise people, my second in skill-wise is none other than Harry Shizo. Again, another Sandy Dragons boy. This guy has got a degree in finding space inside 50. Incredibly high football IQ, an absolute peach of a kicking technique, strong in the air, very good on the deck. Crumbs like the pigeon woman of Home Alone 2. That is what he's like. Incredible goal nose and someone that I really think is the modern day player. We know now that when we look at the AFL, we're looking at two real big separators, how that small forward team operates, finding goals from other avenues. And the other avenue, obviously, is that transitional threat. And Harry Shizo is that jet in that final third. Someone that you want to pair with some good, strong Ox-like key forwards. Really excited about this kid. And honestly, check him out. But in my opinion, the second best talent in the draft. And then we go to number 3, and George Wardlaw. This guy here has missed large periods of the game just with that injury at the start of the year. And it does have a knock on him. But when you've seen this guy play, this guy is probably, if he played the full year, we would be talking about probably a little contest with Ashcroft. Incredibly strong inside, a real bull type player, powerhouse type player, almost like the Audi Cripps, really. He's really strong there, uses his core really well, and he's a good size, 182, 81 kegs. You can bulk them players up fairly rapidly. Very likes his defensive side of the game, really enjoys that tackle, getting the ball out to outside runners. A real strong candidate for being higher up. And if he'd played the full season, like we say, this would be someone that we're probably talking about in that Ashcroft echelon. You'd imagine with North falling back, this is why taking Sheasel and Wardlaw pairing it up is an absolute dub. Huge dub. And I stand by that. They may have lost JHF, but I'll tell you what, you ain't seen Wardlaw and Mr. Shizo, and I think it's a huge thing. And I'm very excited about this kid. He's going to be someone that is going to really catch the eye. Then we've got Mr. Elijah Status, and this guy here is pure offense. Pure offense. Combining incredible skill and speed with real quick footy IQ and really spots a pass. He's a player that you really want delivering this inside 50, and there's probably a really good argument if you know, maybe surprising people. Most people think it'll be one of Wardlaw and Starters with Shizo. I think there's a great argument that you could go Wardlaw and Starters because you want Wardlaw getting it out to this guy on the outside, and he can play in the inside as well. He's got really elite production around that stoppages. But there would be a great argument as well for Elijah and Shizo, because if you can get this ball in, and quite often when you've seen him for the Chargers and Metro, his ability to get that real flat kick to his advantage of his smalls is a huge asset for him. So someone to really watch out for, and I'm a huge fan of Elijah. In at 5, we're going with the big guys now, and Aaron Cadman. This guy here is the best key position player in the draft, and he is incredibly strong in the air. Very, very quick as well for his size. Deceptively quick. If you watch him, how he leads, he's very sharp, very quick thinking. And even though he's not the tallest at 194, his ability to be in the air is insane. It's hang time galore. Needs to probably work below the deck, but I mean, at 18, 19 years old, when you're drafting these kids, you're not expecting 100 goals a year. And he's got that. He really has a good understanding. I reckon there's room for growth as well. With him being that, we stopped growing at 21, roughly, according to science. So he may top out that 196, 197 category. You never know. But I tell you what, as he is, he's very dangerous. And if you were maybe an argument here for someone like, Essendon, let's say that they take him, you'd imagine GWS are going to take him. But GWS can pair him there. If you keep Himmelberg up top, do you know what I mean? Probably getting them type of players. If he's playing second or third, that Jack Darling role, this guy could really be a force. A real splendid little character he is. In at 6, Jai Clark, Mr. Geelong himself. And I tell you what, this kid is very good. Very good. Do you know what I mean? He can get inside and he's incredibly clean. With that leadership ability, he's really a Geelong boy. But the fact that he can kick almost elite with both feet really sets him out. He's a real metronome for the Falcons, and that is something that you're going to be looking at. He's a metronome. He really gets the chains moving, and that is so modern-day footy. Jai Clark is my 6th prospect. In at 7, I've talked about this kid a hell of a lot. Bailey Humphrey, Gippsland Power Boy, probably my favourite. One of. But I'll tell you what, this kid is incredibly clean. He knows where the goals are. He's strong. He's very Bailey Smith in the way he plays. And he's a player that, even though he's been injured towards the middle parts of this season, he's absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant, whether it's on the ball or in the forward line. Things you've got to work on, which obviously, do you know what I mean? That fitness will be a little bit of a concern. But when you can see this guy is pure X factor, and he also has that wonderful flat penetrating kick, a guy that I'm really looking forward to. And whoever takes this guy here, Gold Coast would be probably in pole position, you'd imagine, if they're sensible. He really is a big replacement for Rankine. Could be a really exciting forward line that they're building there. But Bailey Humphrey, one of my favourites. So a guy that I think is very underrated. Incredibly well-rounded, this gentleman is. And he's very athletic. He's very strong, very clean inside them contests. Goes at real high disposal efficiency and has that knowledge inside. And very similar to how Pendle's plays in the terms of he finds space. He buys himself time. And this guy here, if I was a Hawks fan, I'm all over it. Is tied with St Kilda's NGA. Obviously, if a pick comes in before 40, he's anyone's. But someone to really look out for, and a guy that I think people are sleeping on. And I rate him quite highly. And I think it's, again, the Ashcroft effect. There's so many people at Sandy, he's kind of gone down. Number 9, we go to South Australia now. Mateus Philippou. Tell you what, this is the type of guy that you want at your club. Plays mid and forward. A bit like a lot of superstars in here. Very Bond-esque in the terms of that he can do damage wherever he is. Incredibly clean, incredibly athletic, strong aerially, strong on the deck. knows where the goals are. If you want a goal-kicking mid who can play in that high half-forward position, this is your man. He's got all the ticks. He ticks all the boxes, and an incredibly versatile footballer, and someone that, you know, my club hopefully are looking at in them last two. Number 10, this might surprise people because I think this might be higher than a lot of people have him, but this is Matty Jefferson. And I really like this guy. If you know anything about me, you know with my forwards, I really enjoy highly mobile, highly versatile, working hard up the ground type players. This guy is it. Not rated as highly probably because of his one-on-one ability, because he's still slightly undersized at the 76 kegs. But I'll tell you what, this kid, for me, in my opinion, is of the ilk of Cadman, if not better. And I think if you've got a pick in that 10 to 15 category and you've got your forward set, this is a very, very good, shrewd acquisition. Incredibly strong in the air, incredibly just finds the ball. The ball is like a magnet to him. Someone that I'm really excited about seeing. And I think Matty Jefferson is going to take the football world by storm. In at 11, we're going with key defenders now, and the best key defender in the draft. He says that his favourite player is Tom Stewart, and it's something that you can really see in him. Incredibly strong with the intercept marking. His ability to launch from transition is impeccable. He is a supreme little footballer, and he really did stand up in State League footy this year. Very composed, isn't rushed, loves to peel off his man, take that mark. And this guy here is someone that can really transitional threat. And this is a player that, you know, in the Monday game, we talked about Sheasel kicking goals. Transition is so important in today's AFL, and this could unlock the key. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him go in the top 10. I know a lot of people have him in that 9 to 12 category. Wouldn't be surprised to see him go a little bit earlier for some teams and go, you know what, this kid's got it, because he's AFL ready. He's AFL ready. He's Jed. His teammate here in Ruben Gimby, a man that has really flown up and can play across the back line and in the midfield. Incredibly tough. He's as hard as a cat's head. He's a big boy as well. He uses the ball well. He looks to take the game on. Incredibly clean, incredibly powerful through the core as well, and very, very competitive. Very strong chance here of being in the top 10 is Ruben, and he's had a real good back half of the year, which sets him up. Ready-made, little tough little bugger who really suits when he plays across that half back and plays in the midfield for teams to take, because that's genuinely the route that players take. So this is a really exciting one. I want you to look out for Ruben. I'm a big fan. Ollie Holland's next, the wingman himself. I like Ollie. This kid here is fit. Let's be honest, he's fit. He is easily the best two-way runner. Brother of Elijah, finds the ball, and an accumulating wingman. Look at Ed Langdon. He's incredible. He is so strong. Has a real long raking kick. Loves to play them 1-2s, get the game going. We talk about transition and width. It's very important, and this guy keeps his width well. Easily one of the top wingers in this competition, and a guy that really is AFL made. He's a guy that will probably be looking and saying, I can play 22 games year one. An incredible talent, and what I'm looking forward to. Henry Husway up next from the Stingrays, and again, a 194 big-bodied player who can play down the back and play in the midfield. I really like this guy, and this guy here with his beautiful left kick, he's got a beautiful kick. He's super efficient, and he just finds the ball, and he's a tough little character as well. Incredibly clean in close, invariably makes the right decision. An incredible eye for the pass on transition, but also around stoppages as well. Loves to use that handball over the top to a runner, buys himself a little bit of time. You see a lot of 360 pivots from this guy. I'm a huge fan of Henry Husway. If you drop him back into the mid-teens, Husway is probably the reason why. This guy here, without a shadow of a doubt, is one of my, if not my favourite player in the draft, and that is Lachlan Cohen from the Tassie from the Tassie Devils. And this guy here, we talk about transitional threat. This is it. Incredible, long, penetrating kick. Looks to break lines. Natural leader. He's in the leadership group at the Tassie Devils. Loves to rebound, loves to accumulate. And this guy here is... You know, we've got the woof for Carlton. This is the guy that you'd probably say would be the flashy, mullet, big booming kick. Loves to take them intercept possessions. Very strong aerially. 188, 81 kegs, and he's got everything. Everything. He is AFL Stonewall ready. My favourite defender in this draft and someone that I hope to see at a club that I don't hate so I can support him. But Lockie Cohen, very, very good footballer. In a 16, Elijah Hewitt. And this guy here is probably unlucky because he's very tough, but he's very silky. And again, bit of a mixed bag with the injuries, do you know what I mean? But this guy here, strong contested, very, very quick footballer as well. Explosive through the core as well. Very modern day, very, I'm not going to say 2017 Dustin, but that type of ability just to break lines like Dangerfield, just come out of stoppages with a heap. He's a guy that really looks for impact over efficiency, and that is something that every team has and every team that wants to be successful needs. Elijah Hewitt is a very, very strong candidate, again, to go in the top 10. I wouldn't be surprised to see teams bite a bit early because this guy is an incredible little talent and one I'm really looking forward to. 17, Ollie Houghton. And these players are starting to come quick and fast. And this guy is literally that goal-scoring, athletic type player. That player that can really find the pill and not kick goals himself, but bring players in. A very high output for what he does. Incredibly strong as well, them forward stoppages. Incredibly clean. Does the team thing first as well. But that being said, doesn't mind a snaggeroo as well. Do you know what I mean? Doesn't mind a snaggeroo. Does know how to kick goals himself. This is something, though, that you look at it and he gets ticks, particularly as that link, that conduit. And we've seen a lot of smaller players play that high half forward player for a reason. Transition. So Ollie is that guy. Very quick, very smart, very savvy. And in the right situation, like if I was Geelong, I'd love a player like this to work with Eddie, because I think if Eddie can add some of them layers, Sydney would be another team as well. Working with Papley, this kid has got something special. Look out for Ollie. Lewis Hayes, another key defender. I really like Hazy. Do you know what I mean? This guy here, 197, with incredible kicking, incredible use. Sam's brother, incredible though, kicker of the football. Very sound defensively, very smart. Uses his body well. Bit of strength on that 81 keg frame. And you know what? You've got something here. Incredibly mobile. But like I say, he's got a good IQ. He understands his role and understands how to fulfill it. I'm a big fan of Hazy. 19, we're going into the forwards now. And we've got two polar opposite forwards here. And Braden George, 185, 87 kegs. Strong aerially, strong on the deck. Massive goal threat. Natural goal kicker. And easy in the next 2 or 3 years, 30 goals type small forward. He understands the game. And understands the game. He's very, very tough to hold down. He also can really climb up the back of people. Bit of an injury, but do you know what I mean? I reckon he'll be fine. But explosive, man. An explosive talent. And the final one is polar opposite of Braden. Defensive pressure now in the forward 50 is king. And this is probably the defensive pressure king of this draft. Jacob Constanti, an incredible forward that really does the team thing, builds that forward pressure. Incredible work rate as well. He's relentless. 176, 70 kegs. If you could pair him and George up top, you'd be laughing. Probably you'd want to see him kick more goals, but tell you what, the goals he provides from that defensive acquisition is insane. That's my top 20, though. My favourite, the POM rankings, we'll call them. Let me know yours in the comments. Is there anyone there that you're hoping to see? Until next time, we've got loads of draft content, so make sure you hit that sub and like button. POM out.